We are here today with my good friend, Chris Gillis, who I've actually never met in person, but we've had some conversations over email and over the phone and even just a few days ago
Yeah.
over video call. And Chris is a really cool guy. He's got a lot of extensive knowledge in relationship coaching. And that's kind of what I kind of want to talk about today because I on this channel, I am my own demographic, right? I mean, I'm a mid 50s guy, but this channel is for really anyone 40 and up, right? So if there's something I'm going through or some friends of mine are going through, chances are that's something that you're going through as well. And one of those,
Right.
at least what we're going to talk about today, is relationships. This is like single dudes trying to lock it down. And Chris has some really cool insight. We talked the other day and he brought up a lot of cool things that I hadn't really thought about. And the way he explained it was really, really cool. Anyway, Chris Gillis, thank you for joining us. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. And I had no idea you said you're in your 50 something.
I will be 56 in a month.
Bro, you were looking amazing. I 40 over 40. I purposely grew my white out so I could blend in with the demographic.
I
I was
appreciate that.
I always joke and say I color it blonde, because blonde is sexy. Everyone wants to have blonde
Oh
hair.
man.
No, this is all me, man. And I love what you're doing, and I applaud it. And I'm so many good men. People just check out after a certain age, like you said. Either they're getting relationships and they're done, or they think they're once they reach, they're out of their 20s. They don't. There's no need to put any emphasis on style. So I'm glad you reached out to me because as a men's dating coach, so I specifically love helping men in dating and relationships coaching. And the truth is, I say dating and relationships because if you want to have a long, successful relationship, you never stop dating your woman. And you end up, when your relationship with her, she's still your girl. And to make her feel like that. So, really glad that you're doing what you do to maybe make it a little clearer for my clients as well on why we do this work and what some perceive as hard, some perceive as fun. I know you do, and I do as well. And to kind of maybe shed some light on the why we do the things that we do and have them work with us instead of feeling like we're being sent on to-do lists and chores and having to change for
Oh,
a woman, as I bet you've heard once or twice before.
yeah, that's because that's something we're not gonna do, especially at this age. Like
Right.
there are some compromises that I think everybody should be open and willing to make.
Yeah.
But as far as changing who you are for somebody else, yeah, no, that's never really a good
No,
idea.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no. It's why do you think so many men think that it has to be this binary thing that they have to change and give up who they are if they're going to be in a relationship?
I don't know. I don't know. There's a segment I want to get into about that a little bit later.
Cool.
Initial question for you.
Yeah.
Starting at sort of ground zero,
Mm.
you work with a lot of men.
Mhm.
What are some of the most common things that you're helping guys with? What are they coming to you about? And what are you helping with them the most?
Well, what they coming to me about and what we actually end up working on are often different things. They could be coming with me because they want to have a regular sex life. What we end up working on is people getting to know themselves and really learn to love themselves, and sometimes for the first time ever in their lives, and fall in love with themselves so that they're able to become the man that attracts the type of women that they like. The work that I do, it's a lot of deeper but fun. So not like scary, like oh too woo woo deep. It is actually it's very actionable. So I'm not just taking guys into a forest and whatnot
Oh,
and
okay,
beating
okay,
on
yeah,
some drums.
there is some of that
We
out
get
there.
work done, yeah, man. And there is those things, and those things are great too. But I'm all about coaching guys through the doing. So a lot of my men, you asked what brings them to, they're stuck because there's worthiness levels. There's a disparity of worthiness, so that even that a lot of these guys are very successful, even if they actually do get what they say they want, they're not actually able to hold it and grasp because they have some sort of belief, oftentimes unconscious, subconscious, doesn't let them have what it is that they truly want to have. And we chat about this a little bit, but what a guy wants and how we want to be spoken to and what lights us up like Christmas trees is often not what a woman wants. And unfortunately, you can often just ask a woman what she wants because it's not truly what it is there. So
Right.
to help them understand that kind of sexual double talk, and that really makes us scratch our head and say, forget it, I quit. This is too confusing. I make everything clear so guys understand that.
That's good. We talked a little bit about self-worth and
Yeah.
self-respect and all of that. And I do think, because I run into a lot of pushback with men in the comment section on my YouTube videos about, like, I'll make a video about style, and
Yeah.
I've got a video that's sort of popping off right now. And it's like, stop wearing this over 40, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's basic stuff, but these guys will enter the comment section, they'll watch the video, like nobody forced them to watch it,
Yeah.
and they'll say style doesn't matter, who cares, like it's not, I don't need to, I don't care what other people think of me, I'm not trying to impress people. And I'm like, you've got it wrong, man. You've got it all wrong. First of all, if you're not interested in style, why did you just watch a style video and get mad now and leave a comment? Second thing is, it's not about impressing somebody else. It's like you said, what did you say, like we're a billboard,
Yeah. Walking billboard. Yeah.
yeah, it's like we how do you, it starts here first. If you know you look cool, if you look in the mirror and go, yeah, I look pretty good today, I like what I've got going on today,
Yeah.
you'll move through that day walking taller and feeling
Th-
better about yourself. And that radiates, it just does. And people can pick up on that, and they treat you better. They say hi and you say hi back. It's just, it starts with you.
It is. I love that, man. And for anybody out there who thinks, oh, I'm not, good looking enough, or John's so handsome, or I'm bald and John's got a great head of hair, or I'm not tall enough, or I don't have enough money. What's fascinating is that women are very, very forgiving on the genetic skin suit that we're born into, and that attraction is the way down there. It's the seventh most important thing that they say that they care about when choosing a long-term, quality, meaningful partner. For a hookup, sure, you're right, guys. It is easier if you are, just trying to, one and done. Yeah, no problem about that. But for anybody, John and I, we know that that's meaningless and it becomes repetitive, and not is fast food. You can only eat it so long, right? Or it's not
Yeah.
as fulfilling. But style, man, girls love, and you can tell they love it because look at the magazines, look at how they spend their time. And so when we have the ability to say, hey, we got something in common, or hey, I see you, or hey, I respect your game and what you're doing a little bit, that allows that commonality. This just like we had back in school when you saw somebody with the same t-shirt on as you, or you saw somebody doing something similar. Maybe they had the same type of pin. You go, boom, let's start a conversation. And that really, with this we're all deathly afraid of rejection. What I love about style, man, is it just greases the wheels. It makes it so much easier to make these connections, and really that doesn't completely eliminate the possibility of rejection, but man, oh man, I can't tell you, it really does decrease in such a powerful way. The reason women wear makeup, what we get out of it, it's very similar to how women perceive a well-dressed man. We don't know for a fact if a woman, she got herself dressed up and put on makeup. We don't know for a fact that she's not married, or maybe she's single or whatnot. But we know that she cared enough about her how she was going to appear, and she puts the time in. And we know that studies show that women get a confidence boost for doing that. So we know baseline, we know they're confident. And John, you just pointed out, you said, why do we do what we do? No, dude, it's not for all the chicks in the high five. It's hopefully we do what we do because it makes us feel confident. And when you got two people confident who are going out there in the world, man, that's sexy, that's beautiful. And at the end of the day, remember I said the looks are the number seven thing, or your physical looks. Well, the number one thing that women find attractive is confidence. So you just hotlined your way straight there by dressing cool.
Yeah. And it's like, why, if you're a man and you want to attract a female into your life, why wouldn't you use tools to your advantage? Like, why resist, like, oh, I can wear sandals and old jeans and a ripped
Yep.
up t-shirt and she'll just have to deal with it and like me?
Yeah.
Well, then you don't get to complain about not attracting women, because you're resisting an avenue that could bring you success.
Yes.
I just, and so then the people, and I'm sitting here listening to myself talk and going, well, that sort of sounds like you're trying to impress other people. It's attracting people but
Mm-hmm.
it still starts here, man. It still
Mm-hmm.
starts here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, why wouldn't you use something to your advantage?
Right, right. And if you're listening to this because um, you're looking for connections, then why wouldn't you do something that's going to increase the likelihood of letting people know that you have the on switch turned on, suggesting to them, signaling to them, and like it or not, whoever's listening to this is you're always signaling something. You're signaling either don't talk to me, you're signaling I'm in a bad mood, you're signaling, hey, come ask me for directions, you're signaling I'm single, I'm sexy, you're signaling something, man. So control that narrative because if you don't, somebody else is going to quickly write that for you.
That's that's brilliant. I love that. I love signaling. You're signaling something.
Yeah.
Even
Yep.
if you don't think you are, you're still signaling something.
Absolutely. And we are and I think of guys, we really underestimate how afraid and scared of rejection women are as well. They're so afraid. I mean, they how they operate most of their lives. Very few of them actually put themselves up to really get told buzz off or like, get out of here, creep, or whatever it is. Those things that we're
Yeah.
so deathly afraid of. And so it just goes. It makes sense, guys, that the same way that if you saw the same two identical twins, and they're out at your favorite local coffee shop, and one of them is wearing those stained sweatpants, and another one really you could tell she put a little bit of time to make herself look attractive to the masculine eye. It gets you that first interview. And we were just saying, there's so many guys who get frustrated and go, oh, it's not fair. This guy gets all these, instant, he gets first dates. Having owning your style and knowing what your style is, you'll be surprised how many first dates, first auditions. It'll get your resume to the top. What you do there afterwards, then it goes to, past the surface level and then the skin deep. But hopefully, in a congruent world, your insides are going to represent on your outsides as well, and that's what we're really going for. You can hopefully tell
Yeah.
a little bit about a person by the way they look.
True. It's and so going back to the twins analogy, one looks like she doesn't give a shit about herself, the other one
Yeah,
does. So why, as a man,
yeah,
right? Women looking at two identical twin dudes. One has his shit together, or at least looks like he does.
yes,
The other one doesn't. If you look like she's going to see in her mind, if you look like you don't care about yourself, how are you going to care for me? And how are you going to care about the things
right,
in a relationship? The other guy that looks like he gives a shit,
yeah,
like, okay, that guy looks like someone who can take care of me
yep,
or can handle things or, can get things done, cares about himself. He can care about the relationship and care about somebody else.
that's it, man. Yeah, we're all looking for our own. I always say, I think my boss told me this. Everyone's favorite radio station is WIFM. What's in it for me? What's in
Oh,
it for me? And she's looking at it from her perspective of what's in it for me. And generally, women are looking for, it's like you said, security. So guys, don't it behooves you to not make this woman do. I know you think you're special and there's no one else like you on earth, which is true. But we only have so much time, so don't make a woman don't make it unnecessarily hard for her to figure out who the heck you are. If you're a guy who works out and has a little bit of style, like John, you look great, man. So you wear a form fitting, you're not just covering yourself up in a bathrobe because we so yeah, if you want it, you can showcase. And I see you go, oh, John's got style, John works out, John's fit. We're able to make all these assumptions, and then so that way it really decreases the chances of rejection and increases her likelihood of approaching and engaging and seeing what else is there, what else is there. And that's all we really want to do is because we are so much more than our clothes, but you want them to keep unraveling and figuring out, well, who's the man underneath there, and or you just dismiss somebody, go, ooh, I don't want to see what the man
dude.
underneath that dirty bathrobe.
And that goes both ways for women
Yeah,
too. As a man looking at two women, like the one that doesn't look like she cares about herself and dresses like a slob, and
yeah,
like I don't really want that. I mean, I don't want,
no,
like, that's kind of the dude's thing, is to just sort of chill out and try to be a slob to some degree,
yeah,
right? I don't want to live with someone or have someone that acts like a guy.
yeah. I love that you pointed out. Yeah, it does go both ways. I'm really lucky to have a lot of female friends, and I think, and I wonder if you see this with your guys. The guys, I know the gals are like, I'm not, they're beautiful gals, by the way. I've seen them when they dress up, and they are naturally beautiful. But when they don't give a shit and put in any effort, they pretend like they're doing it out of power, but it's really, I think, out of I'm not dressing up anymore. I'm not trying anymore because of that rejection of when they did get up and they did get their hair done, their makeup done, and no one asked for their number or whatever. So they're starting to check out and they think they're doing it powerfully, but it's not the truth.
That sort of brings up another one. The men, the MGTOW, men going their own way
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just giving up.
yep, yep.
There's and I'm sure you do you. Like it doesn't matter. You go do you. And I do realize that a lot of men, like we talked about earlier, have been put through the ringer in divorce court. They're like,
Oh yeah,
it's not worth it. It's not worth doing that again. So I'm going to go do my own thing.
yeah,
That's fantastic. Right up, in my opinion, anyway,
yeah.
right up until the point that it becomes everything about who you are.
Mm,
And then you come at it from a place of anger
mm,
and leave comments on YouTube videos saying that women are the devil and why would you
mm,
even want to
mm,
see a woman like going your own way is the best way to go. It
mm,
seems then go do it.
yeah,
I don't it's that if you're
yeah. You're
coming at anything from a place of anger or hatred,
yeah.
you're losing.
Mm, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's deep. That's true. Right. Yeah, we're giving our power away, even if you're not doing something because of somebody that hurt you. Well, they're still controlling you, buddy. They're still
Yeah.
the marionette, and you're still Pinocchio. And the same thing goes true for the men out there on the corollary who are the only reason they are buying something. They're the guys in the store walking up. Does this look okay? Does this look okay? Does this look okay? They're looking for that validation. Like, whoa, 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 hold on. How do you feel, bud? Because at the end of the day, it matters how do you feel about what you're doing? And I've worked with many very smart overthinkers who are like, well, just tell me what to put on. I'm like, I can do that, and I can tell you, show you, but more importantly, if you feel like shit when you're wearing it, well, that defeats the purpose, right? So what we want to do is figure out who you are, man, because ultimately this relationship, that's who that gal's going to be dating is you. It's not this and not this avatar that Chris or John dressed you up as.
I think that it's fine for guys that have been hurt and are just basically saying, screw it, I'm going to
Yeah.
just go do my own thing. I've got no problem with that at all. Just I, I I just don't know how I feel about the same guys standing on the top of a mountaintop shouting it to the world. I don't know. I think we're a little more stoic than that. Just if you
We
make a
are.
decision to go do something, just go do it and just be
That's
happy
it.
with your decision.
That's it. And what you're down in Orange County, right?
No, I'm Riverside County. I'm between LA and San Diego, closer to San
Okay.
Diego.
Cool, man. Yeah, down there's a lot of MMA gyms and things down there.
Hmm.
And one of the things I learned is the toughest guy in the room, the guy who really, doesn't care. They don't say shit. They're not go back. It's the person who's really scared. They're the one walking around, letting everybody know how tough they are, and because that's coming from a place of insecurity, and or they need, like you said, some affirmation. They're going on these YouTube pages, and they're saying things. They're just wanting to know that. Ironically, that's what's so genius. Ironically, I think a lot of them are wanting to know they're beating their chest that they don't care about a woman, and they can be alone, but they need to know that they're not alone in being alone.
Oh
Your
my
guys are
God, I hadn't
coming
thought
in with
about
me,
that.
right?
Yeah, they want more comments and validation that, yeah, man, you're doing the right thing,
You're doing the
which is
right
cool
thing.
too.
I'm alone with you, man. Yeah, we're all just sitting here
Yeah,
alone, right? It's not just me, right? Right? You're like, no.
yeah. And that's still
Yeah, and
cool. I mean, you need your brotherhood. I mean, I
yeah.
get that. But yeah, if you go out looking for it, maybe you're not happy with your decision if you need validation.
Yep. And just because you get 20 likes or something on, women are all trash and garbage. That doesn't mean you're right. That just means you found 19 other or 20 other guys who are also, down the dumps and are also looking for some sort of validation as well. But in the end of the day, man, we can find validation on anything, anything at all. In the day, dude, like if you're truly happy being alone, awesome. If you really are,
Yep.
then that's fine. But
Yeah.
you're probably not true because your truth is leaking out if you're angrily doing it
Right.
versus making a channel about how wonderful it is on being alone, which most MGTOW channels aren't all about the wonderful happy feelings and all the all the riverboat gambling trips they now get to go on because
No,
they're
it's all negativity. I've seen them. It's all negative, and they seem to be anyway.
the world just tastes sweeter and better when you have someone else on the other line and someone to share that, that bottle of wine with, that food, that movie, whatever it is. There's just something special about having that connection. And there must be. Obviously, we bend over backwards to create connections, and I think we're still reeling from a lot of loss of connections with COVID and just this technological breakup with our cell phones and dating and all that is apps and everything. And yeah, it's a tough time for guys. So I have grace and sympathy for the guys out there who are feel the need to kind of spill their anger out online. And I'm sorry that you get it, John, but it's yeah, these are guys that are probably hurting, and
Yep.
it's a wall of wasted time. All right, bro, you're right. Why wipe your ass then in the morning if it's just gonna get dirty again the next day? Why? But as far
Yeah.
as I can tell, life is supposed to be hard. It's those hard things that make the good times feel so worthwhile.
I never thought I would be where I am now,
Yeah.
almost 56 years old and single.
Yeah.
Um, will go in and out of relationships, and it's like I don't have a problem. I don't have the problem meeting women.
Hmm.
I have the problem finding the ones that are like cool and want to
Mm.
ride with me for a while. And I could probably be one of those guys
Mm.
upset and like it's never going to work. Screw it. I'm just going to not bother dating
Yeah.
or even looking. I'm going to let
Yeah.
myself go, but I'm going the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to take care of myself. I want to look as good as I can for me for as long as I can. I mean, I eat pretty well. I'm in the gym. I try to
Yeah.
maintain, some sense of style and the grooming and all the things.
Yeah.
And I kind of, I won't say that no, I'm not going to, I was going to say that I sort of like being able to walk into a room or a lounge or something and, be one of the best dressed guys in the room.
Yeah.
That works to my advantage. I'm
Yeah.
using that as a tool
Yeah.
to attract women.
Yeah.
And it just works. It just works.
Yeah.
But sure, I could get really frustrated and really down on myself really quickly if I let it. I mean, if I let
Yeah.
myself get mad, I will get mad.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm a good dude, man. I'm a good dude. I've got all these things going for me. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But I just don't see it that way. I choose to go the complete opposite direction. And
Yeah.
I'm not out there chasing. I don't want it to get twisted, the audience to think I'm out there chasing and pursuing. I'm out there living my best life on a positive spectrum, trying to attract people.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my perspective, man.
It's in it doing that, and live as long as I think it's your best life, John. And you're not like, well, I'm, now doing TRT because all the guys at the gym say, or all my buddies say, oh, dude, well, girls, I gotta have muscle. Or you're not like, okay, I need to sell this one car and I need to buy this car or whatever. Because then I think it's now it's inauthentic, and now you're trying to change your way. Maybe that's where there's a disconnect with some of the people who push back and go, well, hold on, John or Chris, like, well, why are you saying do it? You don't do it for yourself and not for girls. If you just keep feeling good, you keep doing these things that you do, man, your confidence and your happiness, buddy, people are gonna want to be around you
Yeah.
in some capacity. It's going to be me wanting to do this podcast with you. It's going to be that checker just wanted to linger a little bit longer at Ralph's when she's checking out because, man, she can tell you made her feel good because you feel good. That's going to happen at work and job opportunities. And eventually, even if you don't have a romantic friend, your gal pals are going to just grab one of their friends. You'd be like, you're an idiot. You got to date. You got to meet this guy. He
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
amazing. And sure enough, and I think that's kind of the challenge, but also the beauty of it is that, and this is what, to answer your question that we started the show off with is, well, what do you teach men? And that's what I help teach men. I help
Yeah.
teach men to become that light that they truly are proud of, and they glance by a mirror, they go, whoa, I like that guy. That guy's fun. That guy makes me feel good. And it's so, in a world where we don't get literally as many figurative pat on the backs because there's less people around. And we can compare ourselves to everybody and anybody on their, social media devices. It looks like they're living in the perfect lives, and they just show the victories at the top of the mountain. It's really easy to get down on ourselves and to beat ourselves up and to say, fuck it, I'm MGTOWing. I'm going, my own way. But I like how you said you're MGTOWing. You're a man who's going the other way, and you're going toward the
Yeah.
way that you want to leave. And truth the matter, and then yeah, then even then, if you make that your goal, I think your aim, we don't know exactly where it's going, but either way, you're eating well, so you feel great, you're sleeping better, you're taking care of yourself. It's a win. You've already won. But eventually, someone's just going to gravitate because you're that light. They're going to come right
Yeah.
there, and they're going to
Yeah.
want to do that. So it almost becomes inevitable. How many truly awesome, confident, happy people do you know who are alone? Not very many, because they just draw people into them, man.
Yeah.
They just they can't help it.
Yeah.
I want to hang around them. Everyone does.
I don't know. I'm the glass half full guy. I mean, I always, there's,
Yeah,
there's another one, right? There's going to be another one. There's going to be another opportunity. There's going to be another girl. There's going to be another job. There's going to be
yeah.
another one. Like it's coming. It's coming.
There are,
Let's,
man.
oh,
I
go
love
ahead.
that. You don't know there are, and yeah, and if for anybody, that's a great point. Anybody who's gone through a really gnarly breakup, dude, I've gone through some of the gnarliest
Oh yeah.
breakups, and I had a hard time realizing what you just said, John. Like, oh God, I lost my soul. Man, what great thing is if you live in a city where there's any sort of traffic problems, brother, that means there's a lot of options.
That's true.
You're going
It's
to be
true.
happy, and obviously, and things happen. When they happen, they happen. Sometimes they suck, but oftentimes it opens up a better, even more expansive opportunities, and that pain can allow us to grow, to really take some hard looks and to work on ourselves so that we can actually have what it is that we want. So you're right, dude. The glass is half full, man.
And that's a great segue into the next topic I want to cover that we sort of chatted about the other day
Mm.
is body language. What did I write down? Oh, body language and signals. So when
Mm.
you do finally get up and get yourself out there, that's the thing. You're not going to attract anyone sitting at home. You've got to go out. I talk about this all the time in my videos.
Yeah.
You've got to get out of the house. You've got to
Got it.
find hobbies, new activities, openings, celebrations. It's we're filming this on St. Patrick's Day, so whatever the holiday is, like it's St. Patty's, go out somewhere where
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so we started to chat a little bit the other day about body language. And
Yeah.
interestingly enough, I was out yesterday with a buddy of mine in wine country.
Okay.
He said something someone else told him, and it was, I wrote it down, IOI, indicator of interest.
Yeah. IOIs.
IOI, okay, I'd never heard that before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. IOIs are great.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a pretty good finger on the pulse of body language
Mm-hmm.
and what to pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you think guys should be looking for or be aware of if they're out?
Yeah. So their big bold move will literally just be staring at you for 1.5 seconds. And to them, they made it crystal clear and they sent you a stamp and they couldn't be any more clear to them. So if you miss it and if you wonder and yeah, just know that that's there. If you do notice a look that seems to linger, check back up. And yeah, some of these IOIs that your friend he was chatting about is oftentimes a woman will she won't be looking at you, but she will be slightly either oftentimes playing with her hair, or if she's got, a great bosom, maybe she will fix a button or something on there. Or if she's got great nalgas, if she's got great buns, then maybe she'll, put something in her pocket or fix her shirt or something down the lower part. But a part that she's proud of, and almost wants to almost like peacock and draw your eyes toward there. There'll be something very subtle, a quick little great, glance, or brush upon that portion of their body. And then oftentimes, yeah, if she really likes you, then after she does that, they'll look back real quick to see if you're catching
Yep.
what they're displaying.
Yep. That
And then
happened to
if
me
you're
yesterday.
did it really?
It's funny because we were talking about it. We were sitting outside and then it started to get a little bit cold. So we came inside
Oh yeah.
and then another buddy showed up and it was this, I'll just briefly run down the story. We're at a winery, right? And winery people are just incredible.
Yeah.
You always meet the coolest people.
Oh yeah.
So there's what turned out to be this group of women from Ohio. They're in town, staying in a Rancho Santa Fe down by San
Yeah.
Diego. The
Yeah.
one it's her 31st birthday, and she has a job. She's doing some marketing for the hotel. So they're staying there. They're in town for the birthday, but she has like one day of work. They're all having a great time. They're dancing, the DJ's playing, they're dancing. And this one lady from the group, gorgeous, this red sweater outfit, that was a
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Caribbean lady,
Okay.
phenomenal. She's at the sort of the other part of the bar, and she's looking over, and I'm looking, and she looks, and then she kind of looks away. Same thing, just like what you said. She's
Yeah,
like fixing the stuff, and I'm
yeah,
looking, and then even my buddy Chris, like, oh, dude, she totally looked at you, and I know what the hell. So I'm looking
yeah.
again, and she looks again, and she stays on me, and so I went over and started talking, and then we
Amazing.
all ended up going out. We went to Old Town and had dinner and drinks, and it was a super fun night.
Wow.
Yeah,
With the Caribbean girl, you guys
with
ended up
her and all of her friends.
amazing.
Yeah, she rode with me to Old Town, and then the other
Yep.
gal rode with my friend Chris, and then another car took the other three. And
Sick. So you do it.
if I
Hell yeah.
wouldn't have seen that,
Mm,
or if I felt like, no, I can't go over and talk to her,
yeah.
I would not have had a really
Yeah.
fun night.
Yeah. And that's great. And also, to add credence to what you do, you did the work and you made it very easy. And for her, you were that marketing, that billboard, she saw enough to go, I'm curious. Okay. And then you showed who you were as a man. That can't be shown on an app. You put some skin in the game by walking across and truly doing what I think women want you. And I think they're actually resentful of when we match with them on the apps because it was, in fact, so lazy. We could have done that to 100 girls. But at that moment in that wine bar, there was only one girl that you could have walked up to, and that was her. And you chose her. And that probably felt really sexy to her that you saw that and that you had, the balls to go after what it is that you want, which signals you must have confidence and you must know and be clear. A second ago, like you were chatting about, I think I'm gonna do what really lights me up. And you go, huh, you know what would light me up? Having a combo with that girl. And that's just
Yeah,
such a great thing to signal to have a partner. And it's so dangerous to be with a partner who doesn't know what they want. We've all been with that girl who, what do you want to eat? And they're like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So imagine living with a guy who was like that about everything in his life.
oh
So
yeah, that's
makes
true.
sense. Makes
Yeah, I
sense,
mean,
man.
it didn't lead to anything other than just a super fun night. And so
Yeah,
it's reps and
yeah,
putting in the practice. And so the next time it's like, well, the last time I did it, look what happened. I had a super fun night with some really cool people and have some memories and stories to tell. I'm going to do it again next weekend.
that's it. And one little caveat I want to add on there is because I know there's a lot of guys out there who just think they think they can reduce it down to saying it's just a numbers game. I want to say no, it's a repetition game, but it's a mindful, it's strategy. It's yes, it involves the repetitions, but if John were to go to the same if you were to go to the same wine bar 100 times in a row wearing that same spaghetti stained bathrobe, you would have got the same result. But instead, now what you're going to do is you're going to take what you learned, you go, huh, okay. So you're constantly asking yourself, well, why did this work or why didn't it work? And why did it work? And now, like, okay, I was wearing, maybe you're going to notice, like, oh, she says, made a comment about your shoes or something like that. You go, note to self, something about these shoes. Well, what was it about these shoes? Oh, this and that. Oh, I wore some red ones or something. Okay, that seems to work at this whatever sort of place. So it's not just grabbing on that same, pushing against that same wall, thinking it's going to open like it's a door, but being mindful and using in strategy and working with somebody like you or like me to go, hold on, let me pull back and tell you what I see, and let's come up with new strategies, and then start making some progress, and not
Yeah.
just repeating the same thing over and over again, thinking it's a pure numbers game. I had a friend, John, who would, well, as we're talking here, he'd have the phone under the table. I'm on, Tinder. I'm on Bumble. He just mine just swipe, swipe,
Oh,
swipe, 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 swiping away.
no.
Hundreds of people. And
Come
this
on.
is so, I tell this story, it became so normal that I thought everybody's friends did this, but apparently guys are still, that's how a lot of these guys think that, oh, it's just a numbers game, bro. It's just a numbers game. No, dude, it's not. You got to put yourself in the position, yes, with repetitions and you're constantly learning, and it shouldn't become rote at any point in any of the relationship. You should never completely just put it into auto drive, man. You've been in relationships and you know, you're still finding out what the new red shoes are, and once you're married to the girl or with her for years or whatever, there's still something where we're always staying on point and being aware. And yeah, I think it's just that being aware is huge.
Here's something else that I run across and that I will have conversations with my friends about. Younger, hotter women.
Mm,
Some people I know, some dudes
yeah,
or the casual guys that I met through other people that I'm more
yeah,
acquaintances with than anything else. So, and he's like talking about these women that are like nines and tens
yeah,
going after this girl. It's like, dude, good luck. Let's be realistic about this.
yeah.
I'm not judging anyone or anything, but I'm in my head, I'm going, let's be realistic. You're almost setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Do men need to lower their standards? I mean, because if a guy's looking in the mirror and on whatever global metric you want to use, if he's a 4,
Yeah.
should he be going after a 10 or a 9?
Going after in is this in real life or on
No.
apps?
Yeah, real life, apps,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay. I want to say apps. We'll just if the caveat of saying
Okay.
apps because the apps are bullshit. It's smoke and mirrors. It's everybody, using Hollywood filters to make themselves look bigger, skinnier, younger,
Hmm.
more flawless, more voluptuous, more everything, more buff. You name it. Um, so that's one reason why I don't love the apps and
Yeah.
nearly as much as in real life. You can actually get, especially as a man, you can signal your essence and these qualities, like the way you were able to demonstrate something about yourself, your courage, how you feel about yourself, the walk, your body posture. She was able to breathe that all in, let alone, and then it ended up, in a night of revelry and dancing. It sounds like, but for the dudes, but also I think that the apps have us bamboozled to think that there's an unlimited, endless supply of perfect Model 10s on there.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it
I
couldn't
see.
be farther. It's OnlyFans. It's girls who are looking. And I do trust me. I used to spend 20 hours a week on those damn things. I was obsessed with it. OCD. It's addicting like gambling, and it would never end. It was like kept me on and on and on. And I would swipe left on beautiful girls who I actually met in real life. I got to meet what I thought were the tens. John, they were not tens. And I don't
Yeah.
mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying that they really tuned and primped and changed their who they were differently. Um, and then I got to go out with girls who I met them in real life and I had said no, 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 so much more beautiful, so much more stunning. They just didn't spend the time hyper competing for these really basic caveman instincts that I sometimes have a dumb, simple, smooth brain man look for with these bombastic curves and features and whatnot that I'm just like, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that one.
You get
Whereas
it.
the truth of the matter is, I just, told to myself, I said, hey, I'm a big board game nerd, for example. And these girls I was swiping on, they weren't board gamers. They weren't there wasn't a big, we weren't going to discuss all the hundreds of thousands, books that I've read. And so I think to tell your friend, get off the apps, man, but to know that I wouldn't say I would say if they're approaching them, I can tell you got a couple guys in mind who are like, oh, uh, but I think eventually the market will dictate and let them know if they should keep pursuing. If they're so uh, if they're so obtuse that they're not receiving the messages, if they've been rejected, let's say, 100 times out of 100 from the tens, and they're still not getting the message, well, that's a great signal that they would be a terrible partner too, because they just don't receive
Yeah.
messages and they're dense. But if they're pulling it away and and the girl goes, oh, you're whatever, too short or something like that. Maybe she gets some feedback or she pats them on the head or does something, and that's happened a few times. And you go, okay, cool. And then if
That's
you
him on
think
the head.
pats him on the head, all right,
Oh
good little guy,
no.
and sends them on their way,
Oh
then
no.
then he doesn't have to stop going after tens, but then he can walk up there, and I have a friend like this. He's maybe 5'5", and that's his first joke is when he talks to a gorgeous girl, he'll sell some funny ass joke to just to get the elephant out of the room that, yeah, hey, I bet you never, talked to a guy this tall before, or something silly like that. She's like, wait,
Love
what?
it.
And she realized he's confident, he's joking, he's a little pit, and she goes, well, that's off the table now. And now instead of because he owns it versus the guys who don't own it, like maybe your friends who don't accept anything because he signaled again back to signaling and he has such a high level of self-awareness. That's so sexy. And boom, he just grew 2 inches in her mind.
No, I love that. Like you're taking all the ammunition away. Like
Yeah.
I've talked about like settling arguments. You know, say you're sorry. I mean, not in all cases. I'm just sort of generalizing for sure. But once you own the thing
Yeah,
that you did or
yeah,
whatever it is, you
yep,
apologize for it.
yeah.
What else can they say? Like, I just said I'm sorry. Like, oh.
Right, right. Yeah, I think in that case, yeah, you're what she's thinking is he walks up, she's thinking in her mind, the first that what you're doing is you're overcoming the objection. I used to work in sales for a long time. And what and her objection is in her mind is she goes, this guy has no idea that I am out of his league because I'm too tall. And the first thing he says is, I know, hey, I bet you think that, yeah, you're out of, that I think that I'm out of your league because you're too, boom, that objection's gone. And he
Yeah.
said, boom. And then the same thing, this girl, you're arguing with the girl, which I've been many times before. I also have a very difficult time saying I'm sorry. And yeah, if you just give it to them, they're like, oh, wait, I don't know what to fight about next.
I
You
know.
just
It's
took the
like, it's over.
objection away. But yeah, sorry about and
Not in all
sincerely
cases,
mean it.
but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I think that's what, again, I think that's what's so cool about getting to dress really well, John, in style is that we're able to overcome some objections, man. I'm working, talking to the gal right now. She's got one eye, and she wears, there's so many things. Okay, well, what are you gonna do with that one eye, right? As a woman, right? What do you do there? And she fucking wears a bitchin' eye patch, and it just looks dope. And it's
Hmm.
like sparkles or this thing on it. I'm like, man. And there's no versus if she just constantly, just tried to hide it or pulled her hair over or something like that, you'd be like,
Yeah.
you think there's some insecurity because the truth is, man, we all feel insecure. And I think what makes it so sexy when somebody can have something that they but could potentially or that they're supposed to feel insecure about and they turn it into a superpower. They turn their stretch marks from losing weight into badges of honor. Like I lost 150 pounds, I can prove it. And I have discipline, and I have, all this. I can do hard things. I think that's such a powerful trait. At the end of the day, bro, women want to be, we want to be around people who make us feel good, and people who feel good make other people feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. And conversely, hurt people hurt people.
That's it. Yeah. And some of those tens, man, some of them are just really, really hurt. And that's all they're hanging on by is their Photoshop photos because they're so afraid of people seeing the real them. Same thing goes with, with the guys with a ton of money out there and who just lean on that and they can't figure out why every girl that they date uses them for the money, where the first thing they do is they stand on top of their wallet about, brag to the world and beat their chest how strong they are, but they're actually using it as protection.
That's another thing we can touch on for a minute or two is um, men who think women only want you for
Yeah.
your money. It's like in some ways that's normal.
Mm,
I mean, being a gold digger is one thing. Women want security,
right.
always have. And it's been our
Yeah.
job and our responsibility to provide that security.
Yeah.
So it's no different than it's always been. Women are just more vocal now,
Right.
and
Right.
social media has just sort of amplified everything.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, well, that's all women want is a guy
Yeah.
with a big old wallet. It's like, no,
Yeah.
no, no. I mean,
No.
sure, there are some, but you don't want them anyway. So don't worry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not. And look, I live, Beverly Hills, not too far and worked out there as well. And there are many, many gorgeous, very well-to-do wives who are banging the pool guy, and it's not because the pool guy's loaded. Their husband is loaded, but he's
Yep.
not actually truly giving her, again, how do you make her feel? And if she still feels poor or not, not enough, then that it is what it is. And having a ton of money, it's not that. It's well, how do you, women are attracted to guys who actually, you're right, who can potentially, yes, finances, but who have the ability to procure and to build. Women, ultimately, they want to be on a team and they want to build a team with you. They're so incredibly awesome. They build that nest. They want to know they're with a partner and that they can grow something beautiful, literally grow a family.
Yeah.
Decorate the house. Why do you think they're constantly going to Home Goods and bringing shit in the house and
Yeah.
bringing all these little sticks around the nest and building and then wanting to get a cat and then a dog and then a baby and whatnot. They also want to, yeah, they want to help grow a good woman. It's going to help grow his man to success as well. So also, I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things I see that is complete bullshit is I have to guys tell me, oh, I cannot get a girl until I have a ton of money, until I'm standing on a ton of money. And I'm telling you, bro, it's actually the farthest thing from the truth. It says a lot about us, our own self. If we believe our own self worth isn't existent until we have X amount of dollars, ugh, what a crappy story to tell ourselves, man. And shocker, no one would want to be. And then if we practice that for till we're 40 years old, that's going to be really, that's a hard habit to unwire and unteach our brains. But ultimately, man, studies have shown again and again and again. You see it. We've all seen it. We've seen many um, people who became, very, very, very wealthy because of the love and support of a good woman.
I think social media
Yeah.
has taught us that build yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
Mm-hmm.
something else. I've mentioned this before in maybe a couple of one or two videos.
Yeah.
We go on and it's like, you go through a breakup and it's like, I'm not doing that again. I'm going to work on myself, or like kind of like what you just said.
Yeah.
He's not worthy, or he's waiting until he reaches a certain point. Then he's going to go look for women. But then what happens is all the guys on social media that they bought their course
Yeah.
to teach them how to go out and get their money and
Yeah.
do all that and be a top percent high
Yeah. Yeah.
value
Yeah.
good high
Yeah.
value
Yeah. One
guy.
percenter. Yeah.
Then they get to that point and
Yeah.
they've got some stuff, they've got some assets, they've got some
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Then women are now attracted to them. Those same guys
Yeah.
who showed them to build themselves up are now saying, she's only after your money. You don't
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah. Gotcha on both ends.
you told me to go get this so then I could have her. But now you're telling me I can't have her. Like, it makes no sense.
Shocker, and then shocker when you lose your money because you advertise, hey, you are searching out a girl because you place so much value and belief in projecting that, hey, I am now worthy because I have a lot of money. Well, you're going to find a girl who believes that you are now worthy because you have a lot of money. Then the stock market dips or we have some correction, and all of a sudden, I know a guy like this. He refuses to date now because he lost a boatload of money, um, and now he thinks he's not worthy, and so now he's just his time is just passing. He's in his early mid 40s now, and he's just getting worse and worse and farther, drifting farther and farther away, man. And it's so, and habits get built over time, bad habits and good habits as well. And it's so freaking heartbreaking. But of course, yes, dude, of course, if you build up your self-worth on your money, and then something that they tangible can be lost, and then if that's lost, and you just train that person. That's how you're training people how to respect you, and that's what you're teaching them. That's where your worthiness lies. So how could you be mad at them that brother, you went out of your way by waiting to get your money, you're going out of the way to only, to attract those type of girls who that is so incredibly important to. And I'm telling you, no, it's not nearly as important. But no, you don't have to own own the Santa Monica Pier to do it. You just
Exactly.
have to, yeah, you just have to know, be able to show them that you care, and again, make them feel something. And always, dude, we're gonna leak out. How we feel about ourselves is gonna leak out. And there's too many guys who are trying to mask that with Rolexes and nice watches and whatnot.
Yeah. If you're able to support yourself as a man, you're ready.
Mm,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, that's it.
that's
That's
the
it.
bar.
That's it. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
the
true.
bar.
That's it, guys. Yeah, that's yep. If that's checked, then you're ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you need a roommate or if you need something, I mean, if you're even renting a place, if you can pay your bills, you've got a
Yep.
job, like you're good to go.
You're good to go.
You are good to go.
Women are so incredibly, we chat about this before, guys, women are so incredibly forgiving and loving. They want us so badly. Yes, there are that, the room gals who've just been, scorched in there, you stay away from them. But my God, there are so many, huge percentage of women who are rooting for us to show up and to come talk to them and to ask them to dance and to say, get their number and say, hey, let's hang out later and to go for a walk or whatever it is. They're rooting for us. And this whole mindset of there's no good women left and that it's all been ruined. I'm just not buying it, man.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Dude, where can people find more about you? You've got a
Thanks for
website, I'm
asking.
sure, Instagram and all that good stuff. What
Yeah,
do you
man.
got?
I'm so consultant Chris, Consultant Chris, CHRIS, consultant Chris on Instagram, consultant Chris TikTok, consultant Chris on YouTube and Facebook, and then also my website, consultant Chris. I give free uh, 15, 30 minute clarity calls just to figure out what the heck is going on and give you some direction. And if I can't help you, then I'll point you to the place I think is a good place to start so that we can, get those first steps going. Ultimately, I just really do care about good guys being seen for who they are and not trying to be something that they're not, or believing, like we pointed out today, that they're not worthy until. No, man. If you're
Yeah.
doing the right things, like you said, if you have a good heart and if you're able to, take care of yourself as a man, then there's a good woman out there, and there's a very good chance that she's going to actually help 2x, 3x, 10x the success and these growth that you want to have, and so you can afford that $100 bottle of wine someday. And man, a man, that sharing two glasses is going to taste a lot better than just having one by yourself.
That's right. That's right. That's me right now. Is one glass of wine.
I'll come with you, man. I'll come one glass, John.
That's all
Right.
good. I won't be single for long. I know that. I'm good.
You get back out to that wine place, and you're good. No, you
Yeah,
won't
oh
be.
yeah, oh yeah. Dude, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
It's
this
been
was
a cool
amazing, man.
talk.
Thanks for again. I'm serious when I say, you're doing your guys a lot of work. Even the haters are out there. They're still dumping emotion because they're emotion, and that's in the end of the day. These are hurt guys, and I just want to help, put a smile and help guys because we both been there. We know how good the water feels. Um, so yeah, I'm glad, we're not giving up on those good men out there and doing the damn thing.
That's right. That's right. All right, gentlemen, I will leave Chris's info down below in the video description box. Give him a follow on Instagram. He makes really cool reels and and I didn't know that you were doing the little free consult. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Hey,
I love
I
that.
love, like I said, I truly care. And yeah, and I need to know who you are. Again, over the internet, blah, 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 that's one thing, but having a
Yeah,
conversation to really unwrap it. And it, we're a lot, you guys, anybody listening, you're a lot closer than you think. I know it may seem miserable and alone or whatnot, but sometimes just a few, oftentimes, almost always, just a few minor tweaks can really kind of turn into just avalanche of beautiful results.
I love that. I love that. All right, gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. Chris, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
All right,
Appreciate you. Thanks
guys,
for having me.
take care.